Howdy, Simmers. The build I have for you today is a bit ambitious and probably one of the bigger things I've ever built. If you have the Get Together expansion, then you're probably familiar with the world of Windenburg, and many people would argue that Windenburg is the best world in The Sims 4, and I don't know if I agree with that, but it is definitely the biggest one that we have. But there is a lot in Windenburg that I never have my Sims go to, and it is the Von Haunt Estate. It's basically a museum without the actual museum lot type on it, but it has this beautiful garden. It's this big fancy place, and the original version isn't even that bad. Like, I kind of like it. But I decided I wanted to bulldoze it and build my own version using the Castle Estate kit, because when that kit first came out, I literally said that the only reason I felt I would use it was maybe if I wanted to rebuild the Von Haunt estate, and that is exactly what I did. So it gave me an opportunity to actually use the kit, and I don't hate the way that this came out, honestly. I definitely think the original was probably a little bit better, but that's just me. I am my own critic, or my worst critic, I don't know. But I don't entirely hate how this build came out. Um, but yeah. I don't know a lot about the lore of the Von Haunt estate or the actual Von Haunt family. My guess is that they're either like a wealthy family or they are the founders of Windenburg, but I don't really know. So I probably should have looked up a little bit of lore to talk about for this video, but I didn't, so we are just going to talk about the build. It's a 2-story build, and this thing is huge. I use a lot of the castle estate kit things, all of like the architecture stuff from the columns to the like fencing on the top of the build. And actually, technically, it's a 3-story because later on I add these kind of, I guess turrets is the word. I add it to the top because the top of it just looks so boring and flat, and I had no clue what I was really going to do with it. I didn't end up doing anything with it. But I'm going around adding, the wallpaper. I'm going to add some flooring. It's going to be great. It's going to look like kind of a mini castle, but not like your traditional castle. But yeah, this took me a long time. I think this build, not sped up, took me a little over 2 hours, which is about the average that I spend building a lot of stuff a lot of the time, especially my bigger builds. But yeah, this was definitely out of my comfort zone because technically this is a community lot, but it's also a house. So it's like it's a bit of a challenge, just that in itself. Um I'm going through and picking out doors and windows right now. You guys might not be a big fan of the placement of that front door. I have it kind of off to the side there, but like where I was gonna put it originally, where it's like directly in front of the stairs, the indoor stairs are right there. So I didn't want to deal with that. So you come up the stairs, you turn to the left, there's the front door. But I really like this build because it allowed me to kind of practice my landscaping skills a little bit, because the Von Haunt estate is known for having this like beautiful garden. I think the lot type is quite literally like the chalet gardens or something like that. It's not something that can be, removed or changed. I don't even know if you can actually change it with like bb.enable free builds. I don't know if that's a thing or not. But the landscaping I did for this, kind of insane, but also not. You'll see momentarily. I'm putting down some pathways at the moment, just trying to, not have it be all grassland and stuff like that. And I do actually use a lot of stuff from Get Together, and primarily the stuff that was like under the category of what goes in the chalet gardens. So I have these beautiful fountains, and I actually switched up the tile on this pathway with, oh gosh, what kit did these tiles come with? I don't know. I don't remember. I want to say the Blooming Rooms kit, but I don't think so. We recently got some kind of packer kit that introduced these kind of strange tiles that have like grass in between them, and I cannot for the life of me think of where they came from. But they didn't look horrible here. I didn't really know any other time I was going to use them. And yeah, I think it looks really nice with it. But as you can see here, I did end up cutting this out, but I'll show you when we get into the game, this in like its full thing. But we have a little like kind of grass gate thing in the back there with a lot of landscaping around it. And it's all stuff from the Romantic Garden Pack, which is landscaping stuff that I never use because it's so out there and so kind of ridiculous. But it works for this. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the landscaping of this, which I don't think is something I have ever said in any of my videos where I have to do landscaping. But we focus a lot on the outside in this, so we will get to the inside at some point soonish. But I'm going around putting just some of these benches around the fountains. And there is some stuff that I cut out from the video that I do later on, which is like I add some of these lanterns around the benches, just some outdoor lighting. I put, I think they're called freezes or something, around the building as well, which is not actually in this footage. But yeah, here are the turrets that I was talking about. Just these circle bits or whatever that I put on the top here to give it a little bit more detail for the architecture. It's whatever. You can see I have the idea at least to replicate what I did with, the one half of there. But then I was like, you know what? No, that's too much. I'm not doing it. So I just go around and add in more fencing around basically the entire building. And I think it turned out fine. Now, we are getting to the inside now, finally. The outside itself probably took me an hour or so. It was insane. But this is a huge build. I believe there are 2 bedrooms in total, 2 bathrooms, and they're all upstairs. And then the lower half is just like a bunch of random stuff, kitchen, dining, living room. I think we have essentially a library down there as well. But I wasn't originally going to go for like full castle vibes in this, but I really wanted to use these big archways, and they just didn't look right on any other wallpaper that wasn't, this kind of stone. So I fully embraced kind of the castle vibes, and yeah. On the gallery, this is called the Von Haunt Castle. So it's no longer the Von Haunt Estate, but I think it's fine. I end up putting columns on the inside as well, which I don't know how often I really do that. But yeah, you'll see I'm saving a lot in this video because, like, I was having a problem. So this was not supposed to be today's video. The original plan was 100 baby challenge, and my game was crashing every time that I tried to save. And so I had to go through my mods folder to figure out why it was doing that. And no joke, it took me over 2 hours to figure out what was causing the save issue. And I found it, but yeah, it was just ridiculous. I did not feel like recording 100 baby challenge after that. So I spent, the evening building this, and here we are. So I use a lot of these like very fancy furniture pieces, and I want to say these ones are base game, honestly, the couches at least. But I feel like the main things I use are probably old base game stuff and maybe some stuff from Get Famous because it just fancy vibes, I'm using the new bookshelf from the Crystal Creations kit though. I haven't gotten to use it yet, and I thought it would be nice. I really wanted bookshelves that would like pair together, like snap together seamlessly to kind of create like a big thing, and the Crystal Creations bookshelf did exactly that. Now, in the actual library, I use a different one that I think is just base game. But yeah, there is no TV or computer or anything in this build because this is supposed to be more of like a museum thing. So as I'm going around putting in like decorations and stuff, you'll see I'm actually adding in this kind of like velvet rope or whatever to kind of block off areas so that way Sims can't actually access any of these rooms. It's the same way in the original build where they kind of block off everything. So I kept that little detail. The kitchen itself is, I don't know if it's wider than the original, but the original one is definitely bigger. I think it has more counter space. This one might just have a bit of a better layout, I guess. There's no middle counter section or anything, but I think it's fine. I imagine this is more of like, I don't know. I feel like the Von Haunt family would have like servants essentially. So this is probably where the servants just do all their cooking and stuff. The Von Haunts never set foot in this kitchen. But yeah, we got a little bit of clutter going on. I got a tea set. I got these like pastry things in there, just like in a little whatever it's called. I don't know. But the kitchen really isn't anything super special. I feel like a lot of the time I go very neutral in this build is the problem, I think. But I don't know, just trying to be colorful in a build like this where everything is so bleak and castle-y. I don't know. I didn't want to, I don't know. But I think it's fine. The dining room is very simple, but I think it's honestly pretty gorgeous. And I think it's the windows, really. I love just how big the windows are. So it definitely makes it feel very grand. And yeah, I had a hard time with art though, because I had to stick to using more of this like fancy type of art. And we have a lot of like poster type stuff and just nothing very fancy and kind of old-ish, I guess. So I was very limited, but I worked with what I got. I think I did okay. We're moving on to the library right now. And this is kind of where I'm looking for bookshelves that I can put together easily. And I originally wanted to put a fireplace in here as well, but we did not end up having the room. So we just have this little like seating area right in the middle. And then there's like a lamp of candles, I guess, that I'll put down momentarily. But yeah, I really am happy with this. Again, I am trying to do stuff more out of my comfort zone, and this is definitely one of them. Because while it is kind of a house, it's not a house that I would typically build, because this is essentially a castle. And I don't build castles for like any reason. But are we done with the downstairs? I think so. Moving upstairs, this is where the bedrooms and the bathrooms all are. And I'm just going around putting some more art in the walls, and I have all of these, like, I don't know what kind of plant they are, but I have this one particular plant that I've just been kind of putting around. And you'll see here in just a moment, all of the stuff that I'm putting into this room, I actually move because I, at some point, realized, hey, I wanted to turn this room into a bathroom. I need to move all the stuff out of this room into another area. So I get all of this stuff out, all put together. And then I'm like, hey, there's no windows in here. I think this was supposed to be a bathroom. So, yeah. Here we go. We're moving it all over. But I don't know. I think the original idea was that there were gonna be like 2 kids' bedrooms in this build, but I didn't plan out, where bathrooms were gonna be. So I eventually just kind of scrapped the idea, but then I forgot that I scrapped the idea. Oh, whatever. For the bathroom stuff, I think I primarily use stuff from vampires, actually. I believe that toilet is from vampires, and the shower tub combo I go with as well. But we don't have a lot of, like, kind of old style toiletry stuff, so I stuck with what I got, and it's fine. The bathrooms aren't really anything special. So we got 2 of them. I literally just, like, put the same stuff. I will say the second one that is connected to the master suite is huge. It is ridiculously huge. And because of where I have like the arches and stuff, I couldn't really put, like a vanity or anything. Not that we really have like an old-timey vanity either. I don't know. I switched out the arch to the bedroom because firstly, there wasn't really an easy way to actually access the bedroom except for going through the bathroom, which of course I didn't want to be accessible in the first place. So I had originally just put one of these doors that I have kind of leading out to the balconies, but I switched it to this kind of, I don't know what it is. It's a thin one. That's all I know. It works. So we bring up the fireplace again from downstairs for the master bedroom. And yeah, I don't hate how any of this came out. But I think if I ever did this again, I'd probably want to include a little bit more color. Not that that's, really something that fits the vibes of this particular build. But I don't know. What if I tried to build like a modern day Von Haunt estate? Would that be weird? Is that just like a really strange concept? I don't know. We are getting to the end of the video though, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually gonna hop into game and show you the original version of the Von Haunt estate, and then I'll give you the tour of mine. Okay, so this is the original Von Haunt estate, and like I said, I don't hate it, honestly. But it's got this nice big garden kind of in the back here with all of these beautiful fountains and the hedges. I don't know if I like mine more than this, because this is gorgeous, honestly. Like, the original Von Haunt estate is honestly not one of EA's, like, worst builds, but as you can see, there's a lot happening. And here you walk in, the stairs are right there. And like I said, they have, everything kind of blocked off. So this started out as kind of their like dining situation. And then Now, there's a bathroom over there, which I guess is accessible for people. The bathrooms in mine are not. But we have the kitchen here, which, yeah, mine definitely has a lot more counter space. It's just a very strange layout in this kitchen. But upstairs, got all of this. We have one bedroom over here, a bathroom over there, which it looks like is actually... Okay, it's not really open. There is an archway there. I included a piano in my version because I knew there was one in the original. I do really like how this one turned out. You can't even access, you know, the top of this because I guess this is supposed to be like a storage type thing. But really, there's nothing bad about this at all. I have no complaints about the original build. So now that you've seen the original, this is mine, and it is very different vibes from the original. But I am not mad about it, so let's go ahead and hop in. We'll just do our usual tour, but we've got an outdoor trash can kind of hidden away back in that little corner. I didn't know what to do with that area. But we've got our front door over here. We have some plants kind of lining this area. And then into slow mode. But you walk in over here. We've got these windows here, which I didn't put curtains on these, I'm realizing. Oh well. But we've got some nights. You will notice I remembered to paint the ceilings. That is a thing that I did. Be proud of me. But we've got our living room over here, and I went ahead and put plaques in, like, every area, because this is basically what would be, like, the information stuff about all of this. And, yeah, so our living room is very nice. I love these lamps from, I believe it's... Oh, man. What did these come in? I want to say Modern Luxe. I'm pretty sure it's not that. It's the Decor to the Max kit, I think? I don't know. I don't remember much about what I put down. But we have a picture of Miss Von Hunt. We have a chess table in here because I had to fit one somewhere. I feel like that was just a very important detail for this build. But we've got our bookshelves back there, which I cluttered up to kind of look a little bit different. Coming out this way, we're actually going to go over here first. This is our kitchen. So, like I said, a lot more counter space than in the original. Yeah, I don't imagine the Von Hunts would ever have, you know, come in here. But it's a nice space, okay? Over here is the dining room. Very, very simple. Got a little decor piece in the center there. Over here, we have the piano. I put some pictures on the wall, like old-timey stuff. And then lastly downstairs is our library, which I didn't put like any clutter in any of these bookshelves, and I don't feel any shame for it whatsoever. But you can see back here, this is the lamp of candles that I was talking about. It's basically just like a standing lantern. So there is that. Before we actually go outside, I'm going to show you guys the upstairs. So we come up the stairs here, we've got art on the walls. Same thing kind of going on over there. And here is our first bathroom, which is nothing fancy. These bathrooms are huge. I won't lie. But they kind of had to be in order to fit this, like, arch on the door. And then over here is our kids' bedroom. I went with kind of like a greenish theme in here for some of the stuff. We've got the bed and the little rug, which I believe is from Werewolves, actually. And we have a sort of fireplace here. It's not super fancy, but it's old-timey. I thought it would work. And maybe the kid was into painting, so they have an easel up here. We're gonna go this way, firstly. This is kind of like, I don't know, essentially your hallway furniture stuff, but we have a picture there. We have this beautiful clock and just some light decor stuff. Over here is the second bedroom, which connects to the master suite. It is nothing really interesting. And then we have our very thin archway into our master bedroom here. But I used this wardrobe from Vampires. And yeah, I brought back the candle lantern thing. So yeah. And this room does have access to a balcony, but there's nothing up here because, you know, you really wouldn't be able to access these balconies anyway. The only way you'd be able to is if you were playing as like a vampire or a spellcaster, some kind of sim that could actually get up to that area without you know, trying to get in through here. But we also have Mr. Von Haunt's little like study area, I guess. It's nothing really special here. It's a desk, but he's got his picture there. And then that also has access to a balcony, which again, you can't really access unless you can like teleport or something like that. So there's nothing really to it. But yeah, and then this like hallway is very open and accessible. There's nothing really going on here. And then back downstairs, coming through this big back door, we've got access to our garden kind of area. So we have the fountains, we've got benches that have little lanterns on them, and this is this like garden flower gate I was talking about. And look at this landscaping. All of the stuff from Romantic Garden, basically. Oh, you know what I wanted to add into this build and I completely forgot? I think I just didn't have the room for it. I really wanted to add the wishing well from Get Together, but I didn't. Or is it from Get Together? No, it's from Romantic Garden as well. I worked really hard on this, and I think that it turned out really, really stunning. So I think this is probably my favorite part of the entire build, just because it is very colorful. And I really love it. And then kind of back from there, you have just like the stuff behind the place. But this is my version of the Von Haunt estate, and I am really, really happy with it, honestly. If you would like to download this build and add it to your game, it is the Von Haunt Castle on my gallery page, TheSimmingKoalaa with 2 A's. It's always in the description for you guys if you ever want to download anything from me. But how much did this end up costing, actually? Because it was really expensive. 249,539 simoleons, and I guess I used a lot more packs than I was expecting. Was Get Famous even one of them? Yeah. What did I use from Get Famous in here, actually? Show used items. Oh, okay. The only things I used from Get Famous, I guess, was this rug and the stairs for the inside. I thought I used more stuff from Get Famous, but I guess not. I think overall I did really good with this build. It definitely has different vibes from the original, which was kind of the goal because this is a castle and not just like a giant, you know, mansion or like Victorian type build or anything. But I am really happy with the result. I think the landscaping that I did, honestly, some of the best landscaping I've ever done. But let me know if you guys like the build and if you're planning on downloading it. I know it's kind of like a niche build. It's not something you would typically think about downloading, but I had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.